This is the Jamaican mega project that could transform farmland into a futuristic city by 2029. In this video, we are going to look at the Greater Bernard Lodge development, a project designed to change how Jamaicans live, work, and grow food. Backed by the government and private developers, this project mixes agriculture, housing, and business zones to form a self-contained township. But can Jamaica really pull this off? Or will it face the same pitfalls that stalled so many Caribbean dreams? Stick around, because what's happening in Bernard Lodge could rewrite Jamaica's urban future. To understand the magnitude of this project, picture this. Just a short drive from Kingston and Spanish Town lies Bernard Lodge, once dominated by vast sugarcane fields stretching as far as the eye could see. These fields were owned by the state-run Sugar Company of Jamaica, or SEO-Optimized Holdings Limited. For decades, they symbolized a simpler agricultural way of life. But Jamaica's government had a different vision. Instead of letting this land remain solely for farming, they launched a massive master plan to transform it into a self-contained township, a place where homes, businesses, light industries, and even high-tech farms coexist in one integrated ecosystem. This isn't small scale. The development spans 5,397 acres, with over 3,000 acres dedicated to agriculture and the rest earmarked for residential, commercial, and industrial spaces. Essentially, Jamaica is attempting something unprecedented, creating a city from scratch, blending modern urban living with sustainable farming. Now, let's take a closer look at what this master plan entails, what's already happening on the ground, and why it could dramatically reshape the Jamaican urban landscape. The Greater Bernard Lodge development isn't just a patch of new houses on the outskirts of Kingston. It's a carefully designed, full-scale township. Over 5,397 acres have been mapped out, with agriculture taking up more than 3,000 of those acres. That's right, more than half of the land is set aside for modern crop cultivation, livestock rearing, and other agricultural ventures that could supply not only local demand, but potentially export markets. Imagine rows of advanced farms, high-tech irrigation systems, and livestock operations integrated seamlessly into a growing urban environment. The remaining 2,300 acres or so are reserved for homes, businesses, light industries, and recreational areas. These aren't random plots. Each parcel is part of a meticulously planned grid, with residential areas designed to be within walking or commuting distance from commercial and industrial zones. Roads, green spaces, and community hubs are part of the blueprint, ensuring that the township isn't just functional, but also livable. To execute this, SEO-Optimized Holdings is divesting parcels of land to private developers through competitive tendering. This strategy encourages quality, innovation, and efficient delivery, but it also carries risks. If developers fail to adhere to the master plan, the township could end up fragmented or unevenly developed. Yet, the potential upside is enormous. Could farmland truly evolve into a thriving urban hub faster than anyone expects? This question is at the heart of Jamaica's ambitious vision. The development is rolling out in phases, currently identified as Phases I, TIMI, and IE. Residential blocks and light industrial areas have already been sold to private developers, and construction is moving at an impressive pace. While exact figures fluctuate, reports suggest that over 3,000 homes are completed or nearing completion. These numbers are growing daily, giving the sense that this township is coming to life before our eyes. Infrastructure upgrades are another major focus. Roads are being expanded and modernized, utilities like water, electricity, and sewage systems are being upgraded, and flood mitigation measures are integrated into the plan. This attention to infrastructure is critical, not just for convenience, but for long-term sustainability. The project isn't a vague future concept. It's actively reshaping the landscape and building a modern, connected community. Official timelines suggest a target completion date around August 2029. That means in less than a decade, Bernard Lodge could evolve from sugarcane fields into a fully functioning, multi-sector township. For residents, the vision is compelling. A place where you can live, work, and access modern amenities, all within the same area. For Jamaica as a whole, it could relieve pressure on Kingston's congested urban environment and provide a model for future city planning on the island. So why should anyone care about Bernard Lodge beyond Jamaica's borders? For one, the development represents a new approach to urban planning in small nations. It merges agriculture, industry, and residential life in a way rarely attempted at this scale. Most cities grow organically, often resulting in traffic congestion, urban sprawl, and underutilized land. Bernard Lodge flips that script. It's a pre-planned, multifunctional township. For Jamaican residents, this could redefine quality of life. Imagine living near your workplace, with access to fresh produce from local farms, modern industrial facilities, and vibrant commercial centers, all in a cohesive, well-designed environment. It reduces commute times, improves access to amenities, and encourages a sense of community. Economically, Bernard Lodge has the potential to shift the flow of investment, labor, and property demand. If the township thrives, businesses may choose to set up in Street Catherine rather than overcrowded Kingston. This could alter regional property values, redistribute job opportunities, and create a more balanced urban network. From a global perspective, Bernard Lodge is a case study in reimagining land use. It demonstrates how emerging economies can plan future cities that integrate agriculture and industry without sacrificing residential comfort. In an era where urbanization often comes at the expense of farmland, Jamaica is attempting the opposite, leveraging agriculture as a foundation for urban growth. Could this island project become a prototype for next-generation town planning across the Caribbean and beyond? The answer may depend on how successfully the government and private developers implement the master plan. The stakes are high, and the eyes of urban planners worldwide could soon be on Bernard Lodge. Of course, any mega project carries risks. First, the divestment of land to private developers requires careful oversight. While competitive tenders encourage quality, there's always the danger that some developers may prioritize profit over integration. A fragmented or unevenly developed township could undermine the vision entirely. Infrastructure is another hurdle. Upgrading utilities, building roads, and ensuring proper drainage in a tropical climate is expensive and time-consuming. Flood mitigation is particularly crucial, given Jamaica's vulnerability to heavy rainfall and hurricanes. Any misstep could delay the project or compromise safety. Timing is a persistent challenge. While 2029 is the official target, large-scale developments often face delays. Cost overruns, supply chain issues, or regulatory hurdles could push back completion. These are not just hypothetical risks, they are very real in projects of this scale worldwide. Social inclusion is also a key concern. Bernard Lodge is meant to serve diverse income groups, but if housing becomes priced only for the wealthy, the township could evolve into an exclusive enclave. For the vision to succeed, planners must balance affordability with quality, a challenge many urban projects struggle to navigate. So, will Bernard Lodge remain an inclusive, functional township, or will it cater only to a privileged few? The outcome will define its legacy, not just for Jamaica, but as an example for emerging economies looking to innovate in city planning. As Bernard Lodge continues to take shape, the economic implications are nothing short of remarkable. For decades, Kingston and its surrounding metropolitan area have dominated Jamaica's economy, concentrating jobs, commerce, and property demand in a relatively small area. This concentration has led to congestion, high property prices, and strained infrastructure. But Bernard Lodge represents a chance to change that dynamic entirely. Once completed, the township is projected to host 10,000 to 15,000 homes. If we estimate an average of 3 to 4 residents per household, that's tens of thousands of people living, working, and spending locally. Local businesses could thrive as consumer demand grows, and industries situated within the township would benefit from immediate labor pool. Importantly, high-tech agriculture in over 3,000 acres could generate food supply chains, export potential, and new agribusiness jobs, providing a self-sustaining economic ecosystem. Investors are also watching closely. With modern infrastructure, flood mitigation, and an integrated urban plan, Bernard Lodge could attract both local and international capital. In many ways, this is more than just real estate. It's a microcosm of urban economic innovation, combining industrial productivity with residential and commercial growth. Could this be Jamaica's first truly planned satellite city, redefining how urban economies function on the island? Beyond economics, the social implications of Bernard Lodge are just as transformative. For decades, Kingston's unchecked urban sprawl has created uneven access to schools, healthcare, and essential services. Bernard Lodge, however, represents a new model, an integrated township where residents can live near workplaces, send their children to nearby schools, access clinics and parks, and enjoy a complete community rather than scattered infrastructure. For families, this means a tangible improvement in quality of life. Shorter commutes translate to more time at home, while green spaces and local markets promote healthier, more connected lifestyles. Such careful urban design encourages stronger social cohesion, transforming residents from isolated dwellers into participants in a shared environment where economic, social, and environmental needs align. Yet this vision depends entirely on execution. If housing costs rise too quickly or commercial areas fail to attract business, inequality could return under a different guise. Bernard Lodge could either emerge as Jamaica's model for inclusive growth or become an enclave for the elite. The choices made now will define its legacy for generations. One of the most compelling features of Bernard Lodge is its integration of agriculture into urban life. Over 3,000 acres are set aside for high-tech farming and livestock production, not simply to sustain residents, but to create a self-sufficient ecosystem capable of exporting surplus produce. Advanced irrigation, soil management, and modern facilities aim to boost productivity while reducing ecological strain. This agricultural-urban fusion carries particular significance for a tropical island vulnerable to climate risks. Flood control, stormwater management, and hurricane resilience are built directly into the township's design, setting a new standard for climate-smart planning. By embedding sustainability from the start, Bernard Lodge could serve as a prototype for environmentally resilient cities across the Caribbean. Locating agriculture close to homes and businesses also reduces transport costs, minimizes spoilage, and promotes local consumption. Residents gain access to fresh produce while supporting a closed-loop economy that feeds itself. The vision is ambitious, a city that not only shelters people but sustains them responsibly. If Bernard Lodge achieves its potential, the ripple effects will stretch far beyond its borders. For decades, Kingston has dominated Jamaica's political and economic landscape. A self-contained urban hub in Street Catherine could begin to shift that balance, redistributing opportunity and influence. Politically, new representation and public services could emerge, changing voting demographics and regional priorities. Economically, the project could attract fresh investment and employment, relieving congestion in Kingston while challenging its traditional dominance. For government planners, this presents both opportunity and disruption, a reimagining of Jamaica's urban hierarchy. Regionally, Bernard Lodge could inspire neighboring islands to rethink growth. Its success would demonstrate that small nations can balance development, sustainability, and inclusion without replicating outdated city models. If it works, it may become the Caribbean's benchmark for integrated urban design. Here's where the story takes a turn. What began as a housing and industrial development could evolve into Jamaica's next great city. If realized fully, Bernard Lodge could rival Kingston in livability, sustainability, and economic reach. A modern urban ecosystem where tens of thousands live, work, and grow within a balanced, self-powered community. This wouldn't be simple expansion. It would signal a shift in Jamaica's social and economic gravity. Investment patterns could shift, property markets may reorient, and political influence could follow. What was once a development plan could quietly redefine the nation's urban future. The Greater Bernard Lodge development isn't just building homes, it's shaping a new model for Jamaican urban life. By merging agriculture, housing, and industry into one ecosystem, it reimagines how people connect with work, nature, and each other. If executed well, Bernard Lodge could redefine sustainable growth and position Jamaica as a leader in 21st century city planning. If this look into Bernard Lodge's vision intrigued you, Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into groundbreaking urban projects. Could this development truly rival Kingston, or will it face the challenges that have undone similar megaprojects worldwide? Share your thoughts below and join the conversation about Jamaica's evolving future.